Hi, I'm Sean,
Hi, and I'm Shannon.
and we're the host of Wifey and Baby Mama. Happy Thursday, family, and happy Thursday to you, baby mama.
Happy Thursday.
Every Thursday, I'm going to tell you all how this is the highlight of my week. So if you're tired of hearing it, skip this part. Jump on at 7:35, okay? Because it's happening. I
That's
will never
right.
not show you love. I mean, all of you, we thank you for showing up for Shannon and I every Thursday for 4 seasons now. You know, it means the world. So every Thursday, you're going to get that
Yes.
little introduction. So happy Thursday to you all. Now, we can
Yes.
move on. Let's get into tonight's episode titled, Would You Want to Know? And if you guys have been with us from the beginning or the last 2 seasons, even, you'll know I love music. And this is in reference to that Life Jennings songs, Fantasia and Life song about years ago. But sadly, it's still happening, you know? So, in
Yeah.
blended form fashion, we're here to break it down because it definitely produces a blend when partners step out, Shannon, and make a baby with someone
hmm
besides their partner or whoever they're in a
Right.
relationship with, you know?
Yeah. And we both seen it, real life. We've seen it, celebrity lives. um, so this is a topic that, um, of course, I don't have, direct insight into other than, certain family members, but um, I've always found it, fascinating as to the different ways that people handle the stepping out and you know uh, fathering or mothering a child outside of their marriage.
Well, of course, unfortunately. I can't touch
hmm
it because I'm the baby mama queen. Okay, I had the drama. I did it all, y'all. So,
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
unfortunately, I can touch it. And although it's not as cut
yeah.
and dry as most scenarios where a couple fight,
hmm
and they break up periodically, or one maybe goes out of town and come back with the oops moment, whatever the case may
hmm
be. And, as we like to reference when we say those oop moments on our topics, it's not the baby itself that's an oops. It's the timing and the
Right.
situations that we're
Yeah,
referring to. So in these
yeah.
instances, we want you guys to be real clear on that, right? So I want you to ponder
hmm
if your partner impregnated someone else, or fellas, if your ladies got pregnant, by someone else and you guys were, you know, reconciled, would you want to just
mm
raise the child together? Or would you wanna create a blend, with the other parent involved? I mean, obviously, if it's the man, you have no choice. Like, generally,
hmm
women, is not gonna just give up their child and be like, "Oh, you and your wife go be happily ever
Yeah,
after. You and your
yeah.
girlfriend take my baby, so I don't bother you." Shannon, that would be wild. That's
hmm
not happening.
hmm
Not now. No, I have seen it happen, but that's more than likely not the case.
Right, right.
Um no, I'm sorry, go
Yeah,
ahead.
so what I've seen, like within my family, I've seen where, the mother or female in the relationship or marriage gets pregnant by someone, but she keeps it a secret or tells certain people. Of course, it wouldn't be a secret if I know, because I do know.
Right.
But she keeps it from the husband, and therefore he thinks it's his child. I've also
Mm.
seen where, um, or had situations in my direct family where she tells her husband, and her husband sticks in there. He's like, hey, I mean, it takes him a minute, it ain't like instant. They
Right. Right.
have a little bumps in the road for a year or so, but then he's like, nah, I can do this. I can help raise the child along with the father, the
Right.
actual biological father. And then I've also seen where you know, the marriage is over. It's just a done deal. The one spouse just can't take it, whether it's the man that fathered a child outside of his marriage, or the wife that got pregnant, had an affair, and was pregnant by someone. And when I think of celebrities, I know you're probably not a big rock fan like me too, because I love hip hop and I love rock. And grunge, 90s grunge, if our listeners remember Nirvana, Kurt Cobain. So
Mhm.
recently in the news, the former drummer, of Nirvana, who is now with the Foo Fighters, Dave Grohl. He, after being married for 20 some odd years, came out and, admitted that he has fathered a daughter outside of his marriage. But him and his wife are staying together, they're making it work. And a lot of people were so disappointed and, said, oh, we thought he was this and we thought he was that. And I'm like, the fact that he's even putting it out there, he doesn't have to,
Right,
and the
right.
fact that his wife is sticking with him, that says a lot about him as well, So he said, we've decided we're going to stay together and I'm going to be a father to this child that, I fathered outside of a marriage, and he regrets and he apologized. And he said he has to earn back the trust of his wife. I mean, just being open and honest and letting the public know all of this, I think that says a lot about him.
Absolutely. And I want to say that I think in those situations, it's totally a personal choice. I mean, I
Yeah.
don't think you should let people pressure you in this. Oh, I would leave him, or I wouldn't take her back. It's
Mm-hmm.
totally a personal choice. That's number one. And number two, what I feel in those situations is if you got so much to lose, and I mean, a baby is a big deal. Oh, don't get me wrong. I'm gonna give y'all my spiel on my oops in a minute. But a baby is a big deal to keep it where you are right now and not just jump. So it's a lot. It's a lot emotionally. Of course, it's extra financially, and it's just a lot of stress on the partner who isn't the victim, because it's like, man, I don't deserve this. But when you have so much at stake, when you have other children, when you have property, it's just a lot, and it's not cut and dry all the time. So I respect their decision to stay together because sometimes is what it is. Now, Shannon, I've also seen a woman purposely get pregnant for another man. She really wants his man. He decides either he's not with his wife at the time, or he and his wife are having problems, so he stepped out. And then she goes, well, I'm gonna get pregnant, and that's gonna be my way to seal the deal. Well, guess what? They fixed their relationship, the husband and the original partner, and now the wife is like, I mean, the outside lady is like, I don't want this baby. And I literally know it's two occasions where I've seen that. She gave the baby. If you're gonna stay with her, y'all stick with this baby. And I'm like, wow. It's a lot of things that I've gotten wrong, but being a mother is not one of them. So again, not judging, to each his own, but I just think that the kid, deserved better. You know what I'm saying?
That's
Because
true.
it's almost like if I can't have you, it's almost like the man meant more than the baby. That's how it makes me feel.
Exactly. Yep.
You know,
Yep. And I have seen that too. Yeah.
and it's
Yeah.
easier on the woman. I'm sorry, it's easier on the man to walk away, and it's easier on the woman to conceal the identity because really, right? Who's
Mm-hmm.
gonna know? Only
Right.
you as a woman and that person know you're in the bedroom, but they don't know who else you. So the woman can
Mm-hmm.
actually get away with that much, much more than the men can, because a woman usually can pinpoint and say, "No, you're the father," and she's gonna take it to you, you know.
Yeah.
But a
Yep.
woman can lie or mislead easily, because how can you
Mm-hmm.
prove that without a blood test? And if guys, if you
Exactly.
don't know that you're the only one, or don't know for that matter, you're the only one that been with it, then how would you ever know?
Exactly. That's why they have this saying, mama's
Mama's baby,
baby, daddy's
daddy's
maybe.
maybe. Absolutely. And my mother taught me
Yeah.
that. It's for that, and it's also for me, in my case, with my second daughter, it was mama's baby. I made a choice, even though he said, I
Mhm.
don't want any more kids. I don't. Well, I didn't have a choice. Real mothers, you don't. It's not a choice. Like if God
Right.
blesses you and honors you to carry a child, to me, it's never a choice. Now, again, in circumstances that we know are out of people's control, rape and
Yeah.
maybe health
Yeah.
situations. That's not what I'm saying. But just because the man doesn't want it, or just because we're not going to be together anymore, well, guess what? As a
Mhm.
mom, Shannon, it was never a choice for me. It was never a choice.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
and that's what happened. And you can say as a woman, I'm just not going to tell, because who's going to know? But let me tell you
Right.
who deserves to know, Shannon, is the child.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
shamefully, with that, I'll share another embarrassing detail of my life, but y'all know I'm not ashamed. It's
Yeah.
literally in the book. It's in my book for the world to see. So, but in case, you haven't read it, my would you want to know moment is my second child. I was married and my husband was incarcerated, and I started running around with this guy whom everyone told me was bad news, that he wasn't worth my time. He was out of my league, all that stuff that people tell you when they're trying to protect you, but you just running your head, running
Yeah.
constantly
Yeah.
into a wall,
Yeah.
just smack your head into the wall. But I was lonely, so I made him to be something he wasn't in my mind, a good man, you know. And he did everything, crazy they said he would do. And finally, I did stop dealing with him. And on a drunken night of bad decision, I slept with him after being broken up for months. We'd been, apart, and I got pregnant. And that was the absolute hardest thing to have to tell my husband. But
Yeah.
what are you gonna do? It's a whole baby.
Right.
He's
Right.
not here. And how do you
Mm-hmm.
hide it? So
Yeah.
I know you
Yeah.
guys sit at home and be like, this lady is off the wall. She off the meter. And I was, but I thank God for grace, Shannon. And
Oh,
that's a pain
yes.
I
Yeah.
wouldn't want anyone to serve me. But I did it,
Mm.
and it still haunts me sometimes. Not the child, you know.
Right.
She's
Right.
one of the reasons I get up every day and go hard every single day. So it
That's
wasn't all
all
bad.
right.
But
Mm-hmm.
that pain that I gave, that I served him, no matter what he done to me, I don't, I wouldn't want that inflicted on me.
Mm-hmm. Wow. Yeah. So the fact that you are able to speak so frankly about everything, and like you said, it's in the book, but it's one thing to have people reading it, and you know, it's there, but to put it over the airwaves, so to speak, to be so
Right,
honest, I commend you for it, because so many people could not and would not,
right,
you
right.
know, and that's why so many children out here um, don't know who their real parents are, or don't even have any suspicion that the person they're calling daddy isn't their daddy.
That's right.
So,
Or they don't have anyone to call dad, and
or
you know,
anyone. Yeah,
yeah, the
yeah.
dad could be sitting right next to him. And even though,
Mm-hmm.
not physically present in the home at the time. My husband stood up like a man, and he said, okay, he don't want the
Yeah.
kid, fine. Don't talk to him. He would prefer if I didn't even tell him. But, he accepted my child, realizing it was
Yeah.
he accepted my baby, realizing it was a
Mm-hmm.
combination of past hurt he was a part of inflicting on me too, and a few
Yeah.
others that
Yeah.
made me unstable and unable to love properly, because we all know love doesn't hurt, right? But if they were my girl, they was busting my little heart up piece by piece. So with
Um,
experience, you bounce back and you try to make decisions, and sometimes they're not the right decision. But it wasn't just my bad experiences, what I'm getting to with that, Shannon. It was
right.
also, it wasn't just past relationship with men. It was also my past, my upbringing. I didn't see anything odd or strange about having several baby daddies because I was raised in that. I say all the
Mm-hmm.
time, my blend was blending. Okay. But I
Yeah.
love my
Yeah.
stepmamas. I love my stepdaddies. They was all cool
Mm-hmm.
peeps. So at that moment, I didn't realize the damage cheating caused, the confusion it
Mm-hmm.
caused. I thought because men always hurt me, it's okay. I do me.
Mm,
It's not okay at all. And
right.
if it wasn't working, people, if it isn't working, move on. I did
Yeah.
eventually divorce Jimmy, and I went on with my life, but not before I
Mm-hmm.
left a trail of hurt behind. So I would have rather we went our separate ways. But we on both our behalves, that kind of destroyed us. And when we came back the second time around, we spent so many years repairing that, and it would have been wiser just to go my separate ways until we were healed and come back together because as you see, guys, we made our way back, but what's meant to be will be, and we don't have to
Right.
force it and leave a trail of destruction and pain along the way. And that's why, Shannon, I tell my story, not because I don't have anything else to do.
Yeah.
It's because so many people, I would love to deter people from doing it the way I did it because there's so much that
Mm-hmm.
you have to come back from instead of just doing it the
Right.
right way.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And of course, we've all done, things that we wish we could have done better and done differently. Um,
Absolutely.
and that's why we do this podcast, since to talk about the different things that we've done, and um you know not regretting our children, but regretting some of the ways we brought them here into this world. Knowing
And
it was God's plan, but
that's
he
right.
would have wanted
Keeping
it
that
to
in
be
mind.
yeah, but I'm sure he would have wanted it to be a little different, you know, um, and
Make better choices.
make
And
better
I will say,
choices.
while we said it's good, while we just stated that, the child should know. I'm gonna tell you, if I wasn't as wise about I'm trying to see the right way to word this, the situation. If I didn't love my children, if I didn't realize the damage it would cause, if it was up to just me and it wouldn't have harmed my child, I would have never told her who her biological father was. I strictly
Yeah.
did that for her sake because I think she
Okay.
deserved to know. My husband
Mm-hmm.
never wanted me to tell him because he didn't want her anyway. So what's the point of even muddying the waters, right? But I felt an
Right.
obligation to the child. Unless it's an
Mm-hmm.
unsafe situation, or maybe the other parent is deceased and they won't meet him anyways. Maybe something like dress it like that, you don't tell. I think it's
Mm-hmm.
only I think it's only fair to a child though if that parent is living to let them get to know their roots and then let them decide when it's
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
If they want to deal with that
Yeah.
parent or not. I've said before,
Right.
my girl grew up and was like, that's some intel you could have kept. He ain't
Mm-hmm.
hitting on nothing. I mean, they have whatever relationship they have, but she knows my husband as her father because he was a father to her. You know what I mean? And a father
Right.
and a daddy is a big difference.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah. Yeah. And I know, you, you know, of course, I'm always bringing up family members or friends, but in my family, like I said, we've seen it all, every side of this situation, every side of this coin. And in one particular situation, the mother did not tell her son until he was over 30 years old,
Wow.
who his real father
Ooh,
was. Yeah. Yeah. So he grew up thinking one thing. Um, and when he found out, the interesting part of it is he still loved who he loved, which was the man he had called um, dad
dad.
his whole
Well,
life. Yeah.
naturally. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. So he's gotten to know his actual biological father, but his love is definitely for the man that raised him.
Well,
And I
see,
don't know if you.
that's.
Mhm.
Well, I'm sorry. Go ahead. No, no, finish.
No, no, no. Go ahead.
No, I
You were
was
going to
saying
ask
that's
something.
why I was saying no, no. I was saying that's why I think it's important to maybe to do it sooner and let the child decide
Oh
because
yeah,
man, there's so
yeah,
much coming back. It's so much,
yeah,
even for 30 years old. That's so much to deal with.
yeah, yeah.
Like the
And
person
I'm
I've known all my
sure.
life as dad is not my dad. I don't
Hmm.
know.
Yeah, yeah. And I'm sure his mother regrets not telling him sooner. Um,
And maybe she even had
and
her reasons. I mean, I'm not judging. That's not what we do here.
yeah,
I'm just
yeah.
saying, in my situation, as much as I
Hmm.
like despise that dude, as much as I knew he was not a good father, even to the children he already had, I just felt that wasn't my choice to make for her. So I felt like I did it the right way. But again, to each his own.
Yeah. Agreed. And I don't know if you remember that story, and this is not in the same vein, but I don't know if you remember that story about that woman who stole the baby out the hospital
Yes,
and
that
ended up
nurse, and
raising,
she raised her
yeah,
for a long time, and the girl wanted to stay
yeah,
with the nurse. She didn't want to go
stay
back to
with
her
the
parents.
nurse. Yeah, yeah.
I know
So,
that was
yeah.
wild.
Hmm.
But it's real. And that's
Right.
why I wouldn't take so long. Me personally, that's why I made it my business to call the father when I had it. Well, I called his mom and told, hey, you can tell your son, the baby's here. She ended up calling to the hospital. He made his choice and I was done with it. But his
Yeah,
mom was like, no,
yeah,
this child is gonna know our side of the family. She was adamant about it. And she ended up having a wonderful aunt, Ray, that would come get her and make sure, like, you're gonna be a part of the family. And it was what it was. And I
yeah.
eventually tried to make nice but again, it was just too toxic. So eventually
Hmm.
we were not able to co-parent effectively, but they were able to have an effective relationship. So I guess, no matter how you look at it, it worked out. The bad decision was actually, like we said, it was a moment that was destined to be because God makes no mistake. I was
That's
supposed to be
right.
that kid's mother. I was supposed to be her
Hmm.
ride. I was supposed to be
Yeah.
her ride to earth because I don't think anyone else would love her or understand her the way I do.
Yeah, beautiful.
So that's my embarrassing moment for tonight, baby mama. You got anything else you want to add before we go to our next segment?
No, I don't.
All right. Well, the wrap up will be a little different tonight. We're gonna wrap up by saying, by giving homework. We want you guys to let us know what's your take on this. We're gonna take a poll after listening to the tonight's discussion just now. Would you want to know? That's the question for our listeners tonight. Would you want to know if you were in that situation? Would you want to
Now,
know? And if
now, who are
not,
you
why?
asking? Yeah, who are you asking
Anybody.
though?
I'm
The
asking
child,
anybody.
the
No, no,
okay,
no.
the
I'm asking. I'm
spouse.
sorry. Yeah, we're asking the. No, we're not asking the children. I don't think too many children listen to wife and baby mama. Well, it could be adult children, but
Yeah, I'm talking
no,
about the adult children.
yeah, no, 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 no. We're talking about people in the relationships. If you
Yeah,
stepped
yeah.
out, thank you for clearing that up, though.
Mm.
That's a good question. If you were in a relationship and you guys were away for a little while, and someone decided to go do their thing and just wasn't careful. If your husband or a boyfriend came back, significant other, whatever you so choose, and they had a baby and they're like, would you want to know, ladies? Or would you just rather he keep it to himself and do what he's doing? Fellas, vice versa. She's with you now. That guy was a one night stand. She may never see this guy again. Would you want to know? And if so, let us know. If not, we want to know that too. We want you to leave a comment under one of our social media sites, Wifey and Baby Mama. We're on Facebook, we're on Instagram, or you can always hit us up at wifeyandbabymama@gmail.com. So we'll be looking forward. I'll be looking forward to reading those. So again, would you want to know? And if not, why?
Yeah, I can't wait to get the poll
Get my
answers
hands on
on
some of
that.
those. Absolutely, because I told you my answer. If it was up to me personally, I would not have told her. But I made the
Right.
decision for my child. I thought she deserved better than that.
Mm-hmm.
So hit us up
Right.
on either of the social media sites or at wifeyandbabymama@gmail.com. Now let's get into some sweet little lies, baby mama. All right. Our sweet little lie tonight comes from a young lady who will remain nameless because that's how this segment's set up. And for good reason. Girlfriend says, I have a sweet little lie I need to tell someone. I always say I'm working late or fake busy whenever my boyfriend has his kids over. I don't care if it's in an hour or the whole weekend. I'm not a mom. I don't want to be. And I will never play stepmom to anyone else's children, period. Baby, you need a new man, boo.
Mhm.
That ain't gonna fly every time. It's not
Oh.
gonna work. Either he gonna figure it out or you gonna get tired of lying. But I'm gonna mind my business. That ain't this. We just here to read it, get it off your chest. Moving right along, baby mom. What you got?
I'm just saying, yeah, it's like, so what are you in this relationship for? It doesn't sound like she wants a future with the guy, because if you did, the goal would be to become the step parent, the
Absolutely,
stepmom, you know.
absolutely.
But if that's just someone you're kicking it with, okay, I get that, yeah, and I would definitely recommend not being in the children's lives at that point. Then, if you're
That's
not
right.
seriously in it, don't do that to the children. But honestly, I would say you should look at moving along, moving on to someone
Absolutely,
else, you
absolutely.
know?
Without any kids, since you don't plan on being a mother
Yeah,
at all.
without kids. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Absolutely.
So
So that's
hopefully
our
that doesn't
sweet little
sound,
lie.
yeah, and
No, go
hopefully that
ahead.
don't sound too judgy,
It's not
but
judgy, but I mean, just serious business. That's not gonna work. Like I don't care what
right,
planet you
right.
live on. Yeah, because what
Yeah.
about if he has his kids the whole week, so you just don't see your man on the
Hmm.
weekends? Like that wouldn't work for me. I want to see, baby. Weekends are for fun. Okay. So
Right,
no, I'm
right.
not trying to be judgy either. I'm just telling you that, baby. We talk all the time about time management, honey. Don't waste your time. If it's
Mhm.
something you know is not gonna work or you can't get, I wouldn't waste my time. But again, to each
Exactly.
his own,
Yeah.
and maybe that's her time to play. I don't know. But
Hmm.
if you have a sweet little lie or some mess, because that's a mess. So if you got a
Yeah.
mess you want to get off of your chest, hit us up.
Hmm.
You are officially invited to hit us up at wifeyandbabymama@gmail.com. That's wifeyandbabymama@gmail.com. It's on you, baby mama.
Okay, on to our final segment of the night, which is the fictional family that I feel, I fire, or I forget. So tonight, our family is one of my favorite families, the Tejadas, from Power Book to Ghost. For those who remember Zeke, Monet kept Zeke a secret. Monet, who's the mother, I'm sorry, for those who've never watched it, I guess I gotta set it up. So you have a mother, and these are all people they're in a drug world, they're drug dealers. The mother is Monet. She has grown children in their 20s. And her husband's in prison, and then an ex-boyfriend who just happens to be the father of Zeke, who she has called her nephew his entire life. And Zeke happened to be her son, which her children did not know. They grew up thinking this was their cousin, and Zeke called her auntie, and they were pretty tight or whatever. And then the truth finally came out as to who he was, and it caused a lot of hurt and harm in uh, the grown children's dynamic. They couldn't believe that their mother lied. Even her husband, who was in prison, couldn't believe the lie because he had no clue. And I can't remember, Sean, if this was several seasons ago, but I can't remember if the father Mecca, if he actually knew that Zeke was
Yes,
his, or he knew for all along, or did he find
he
out
didn't know all
later?
along. He found out
Okay, he
later.
found out later. So yes, so Monet, that's what I was thinking. So Monet lied to everybody.
Yeah, she
Um,
did.
yeah. So as much as I love the Tejadas, I'm gonna have to, just for this particular episode, because I love Mary J. Blige, who plays Monet. That's my, I've been down from day one since the 411. But I'm gonna have to fire her, or fire the Tejadas on this one, because of the hurt. She took too long to not only let Zeke know that she was his mother, had her calling him auntie all those years. I just feel that that's wrong. What's your take,
I'm gonna
Sean?
feel them because
Oh, you go.
I'm a gangster, and you know I respect her choice. She had to get away from his father because he was her kryptonite. And well, kryptonite is a
Mhm.
good thing. Is it kryptonite good or bad? Whatever it
Yeah.
was, when they were together, it wasn't good. And I feel I feel her for that. And besides, that was her firstborn. She didn't want to
Yeah.
introduce him to that life. And with her father, Lorenzo was the father
Her
of her
husband.
biological
Yeah.
children, her
Mm-hmm.
husband.
Mm-hmm.
He basically raised their kids in the drug game, and I think she just didn't want that for Zeke.
For
And
Zeke.
I think she chose that for his own protection to get away from Mecca. They were it was all bad. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna feel her because again, I'm a
Okay.
gangster and I've been there, done that. So I respect it.
All right. Love it. Love it. Love it. And if you all have an opinion on that too, go ahead and let us know.
Hey, you're gonna be in there. You might as well drop it like it's hot. Let us have
That's right. That's
it.
right. All right. So that is all we have for tonight. We thank you again for joining us and listening in, and hopefully you can take something from what we've said. It may not apply to you. You might say, this all sounds too crazy. I've never, because Sean, there are people whose lives, they're like, what? Children outside the marriage? What are you talking about?
They in the bread box.
Yeah, they're in South Dakota.
Or you follow. They just straight up and down people don't know nothing
Right,
about that. And we
right.
respect that.
Yeah.
Like, kudos to
Yeah,
you
yeah,
because
yeah.
Lord knows it saves a whole
Hmm.
lot of headache and heartache.
Oh
But
yeah, yeah,
seriously, for
it
those,
does.
believe it or not, it's more people in this
Hmm.
situation than not, and some just don't admit it. So
Hmm.
if
That's
you are, don't
right.
be ashamed. If you're not,
So,
thank God. God bless you for making good choices, unlike
yes,
myself.
yes,
But but it works out.
it does. It does. So until next week, we will talk to you all then, and we look forward to next Thursday, 7:30. You all have a good one.
Love you all. Bye.
I'm wavy.